Welcome back to the Full Spectrum Show. Today we are talking about the next generation squad weapon. So this is actually a really intriguing topic because we are now down to the last two finalists, and surprisingly, a bullpup has made it in there. It seems so out of tradition for the United States to use bullpups at all, especially for military use. But here we are. One may be the next weapon that the Army procures. But very stiff competition because you have a huge company like SIG going after them with their MCX. Now, it's pretty impressive that any weapons made it in this contract at all because the requirements are pretty stringent. 35 inches of overall length, 12 pounds with attachments. Now, that I think is the most impressive one, with a suppressor, an optic, and a heavier caliber gun that is for the further requirements, which is being able to suppress targets at 1200 meters and to be able to accurately hit targets at 610 meters. So how have they managed to do this? That's my real question. They must be using some pretty new materials to be doing all of this together at once. Now, the ammunition side of things, SIG also has their own in-house ammunition. And I don't know if you have been following a lot of the new military procurements, but SIG has been killing it. I mean, they've gotten the new military pistol contract for, I believe, the Army and the Marines. So that's already a huge one-off. And I know that they got an optic procurement for the Army, which is actually this optic that you see right there. I think they've done a couple different models, but going out to I believe it's a 1x6, so that's pretty impressive in terms of optical power. And it's going to be interesting to see who wins this. I mean, it's I still struggle to think that SIG won't win, making everything in-house. It's just going to be hard, I believe, to beat the cost of manufacturing that they'd be able to offer the military. But on the other hand, the bullpup is really forward-thinking. I mean, you can get a lot more velocity with a longer barrel, and when it comes to armor penetration, velocity is king. So it's going to be hard to beat that at the same time. And you got a few different companies that are working on this one. I know it's made by General Dynamics and Tactical Systems, and the suppressor is made by another company as well. I think the suppressor is really forward-thinking as well. A lot more volume for suppression and the gases to cool off and get to a lower pressure before leaving the end of the barrel, but a lot shorter. And from the videos that I've seen of these in use, it seems like they're really good at flash suppression, which is one really good thing about a suppressor, and obviously the noise suppression as well. So overall length, that's really something else too. I wonder how they balance. Really interesting. And also having permanently mounted side canted irons. I mean, you will always have irons, and you also have the ability to mount anything on your flat top rail right there on your Picatinny. And they're using and trying to go with this other company as well, called TV Ammo, and they're making this really interesting round. And it's not like SIG's where it's mostly brass, although that could be a factor because brass has been proven. But if the Army and military are really trying to lighten the soldiers' load, I mean, a completely composite round seems, well, ideal. And the fact that this company, TV Ammo, is essentially boasting that they can rechamber 7.62 barrels, or not rechamber, but shoot a barrel swap, and then be able to shoot these new rounds. They're both, so the new round is 6.8 by 51 millimeters, and standard 7.62 is, or 7.62 NATO at least, is 7.62 by 51. So they'd be able to fit in the same magazine, essentially, which is really interesting. And you could rebarrel things like miniguns and M240 heavy machine guns, or medium machine guns, technically, I believe. Things like that. So, but then again, there's a cost to that as well. And how long are you going to be able to keep a lot of those weapon systems going, which I'm sure a lot of them are aging at this point pretty fast from all the combat that unfortunately America has been a part of as of late many years, forever, it seems. But yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you think that we'll be able to actually get a Bullpup in? Or do you think SIG is just going to dominate with their reliable manufacturing and reliable track record and all the other contracts that they've been winning as well? It seems like they're on a roll. Can they be stopped? Oh, this light machine gun is really interesting too. Whereas the Bullpup is basically the same gun with a longer barrel, maybe heavier, I'm not too sure about that, and a bipod attached. So losing the ability to go from a belt-fed system, which, you know, pros and cons to both. It definitely takes longer to reload a belt-fed system, but a lot more sustained fire. It's gonna be close, I'm sure. The fact that a Bullpup's already made it this far gives me hope that we might be moving forward with an actual Bullpup being adopted by the U.S. Army. But if I was a betting man, which I'm definitely not, I'd say SIG's gonna win this contract as well. They're just gonna basically be the small arms procurement company of America for the foreseeable future. Well, let me know what you think. Thank you for joining us on the Full Spectrum Show. And if you like this kind of content, definitely subscribe and let me know what you think. All right. Thanks for coming by.